There we go. We're just going to read our video disclaimer. This disclaimer is to inform all participants that the meeting conducted in person and via Zoom will be recorded for record keeping purposes. By participating in the meeting, you consent that the recording may contain first, your video stream, including images of yourself, and second, your audio stream. This includes any opinions you contribute. Anyone attending the recorded meeting may have aspects of their personal data recorded if they actively participate or not. By staying in the meeting, you consent to being recorded. By consenting and attending the meetings virtually or in person, participants also agree to recordings being posted to YouTube or other distribution services. Also like to acknowledge the First Nations and traditional territory. Armour Township is situated on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe. Armour Township recognizes the historical and contemporary contributions of the local First Nations and the peoples of Turtle Island. First off, I would like to welcome everyone. Thanks for doing the bit of a calendar change. We wanted to have a chance to go through the agreements that are circling around. So it just made sense to push the meeting out a bit. So appreciate everyone's cooperation on that front. At this point, Ryerson doesn't have quorum. We do have one resolution for each of the municipalities. So we may have to skip that for you guys tonight.
Skip that for us and we'll try and get it accomplished tomorrow night because we have council.
We have council tomorrow night. So I can rag the puck for a few more minutes, but I'm not sure how much longer we can. So we'll just carry on. First up, a set of minutes from the last Tri-Council meeting. The Tri-Council of the Township of Armour, Township of Ryerson, and Village of Burks Falls approved the notes of the Tri-Council meeting held on February 23rd, 2026 as circulated. If I get a mover. Sure. I got Jerry and then I got Ashley. Any errors, omissions, updates? All those in favor? And that's carried. Off the races. Do we have any declarations of pecuniary interest in general nature thereof based on tonight's agenda? So none noted. Okay. First off, we do have the two agreements that have been cycling around each of the three municipalities. So items 1 and 2 were really for discussion. I don't think we need to summarize this because I believe it's been back to each of the councils at least twice now. And I think the last edits were mostly a statement. They were mostly references and just, but if there's any questions based on the two that are in the agenda package tonight, happy to entertain questions now. We have the folks in the room who can answer. No questions. Okay. I wanted to note as well how much all of the three councils, I believe, appreciate the work that was done by the subcommittee. I think it was a really effective way to get things done and get the new agreements in place. It allowed the conversation to happen in a smaller group. They kind of worked through the fine points. And then, I mean, let's face it, by the time it got to us, it was more or less a rubber stamp. We got a chance to review it, but it was a rubber stamp. So I wanted to thank all the members of the subcommittee for all their hard work, and staff, of course, who are the ones that actually make it happen. So I am going to read in the resolution from Armour. I believe Burks Falls has a copy of the same resolution. So we might as well do that while we're all here. It's an official council meeting anyway. And then, and you mentioned that tomorrow you guys can deal with yours. So, okay, we're at section 20-1 and 22 of the Municipal Act 2001. Chapter 25, as amended, authorizes a municipality to enter into an agreement with one or more municipalities or local bodies. And whereas the council of each of the Township of Armour, Township of Ryerson, and the Village of Burks Falls deems it appropriate and in the public interest to enter into agreements with respect to the Armour, Ryerson, Burks Falls Memorial Arena and the Triarch communal landfill. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Armour supports entering into agreements for these shared services. And further, that each municipal council shall forward bylaws authorizing the execution of the joint services agreement and the joint waste management services agreement at their next regularly scheduled council meeting or as soon as possible thereafter. So from Armour, can I get a mover? Yeah, Dorothy.
Oh, Wendy first.
Oh, sorry, Wendy. Look, run up, down, and then Dorothy. Yeah. All those in favor on Armour's side? Carried. And Chris, over to you for the same from Burks Falls.
Thank you, Rod. Whereas section 20, chapter 1, 20, and 20, chapter 2 of the Municipal Act 2001, chapter 25, as amended, authorizes the municipality to enter into an agreement with one or more municipalities or local bodies. And whereas the council of each of the Township of Armour. Thank you. Got it. Thank you. And whereas the council of each of the Township of Armour, the Township of Ryerson, and the Village of Burks Falls deems it appropriate and in the public interest to enter into agreements with respect to the Armour, Ryerson, and Burks Falls Memorial Arena and the Tri-R communal landfill. Now therefore be resolved that the council, the Village of Burks Falls supports entering into agreements for these shared services, and further that each municipal council shall bring forward bylaws authorizing the execution of the joint arena services agreement and the joint waste management services agreement at their next regularly scheduled council meeting or as soon as possible thereafter. Can I get a mover and a seconder from the Village of Burks Falls? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Brandt, seconded by Councillor Kite. All those in favor? So carried. Thank you.
Chris.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Next up, we have our our landfill subcommittee report. And Amy, where she is. So Amy, you've got to gather everyone's had a chance to read the report, but probably late breaking news because there always is when I come out.
The waste committee stuff is all gold right now. Hope everyone read the report. Thanking the members that attended the meeting and those that had private discussions as well. Think we did a really good job at doing the first go around, and work has already begun to sort of loosen up that bottleneck. That's the biggest issue this year. And then we'll move forward and look at some of the other, we already reviewed some of the other items that I'd like to discuss at a later date. And we'll move forward with the allocation of $9,000 that's in the current capital to try to get some of these little projects cleaned up and out of the way. And I had hoped to bring a report for my members, but that will follow as I schedule a meeting with you. The late breaking news is more with regard to used tires. So members of the committee that were at the site also had an opportunity to discuss this used tire issue. If you've seen the news, it's a real problem right across the province. Right now we have a huge massive pile sitting there, breeding mosquitoes and other environmental issues, as well as the fire concern that it also increases. We talked about establishing a new area to continue collecting tires. The only issue is, what is our limit for accepting tires based on the regulation and as a collection site? I know that there's sites, I had some pictures, I could picture you to death, news article you to death, what's going on across the province. William Day Construction in Azilda has 500,000 tires sitting there today. They are the hauler that was taking our tires away. They've been fined by RIPRA because they have more than they should have on us. So late breaking news, I got a phone call from eTrax this morning. They guarantee that we will receive service by the end of the week by a hauler that we have used in the past that continuously dropped the ball. I would like to recommend that council continue with the resolution before them, and that we would be, it's not here on this table. It will go to Armour's table tomorrow night as the operating and agreement signer. What I recommend is that we all collecting tires at this time until the province can guarantee us that we will be cleaned out continuously and regularly as the regulations states today. That's it in a nutshell for me. Any questions, comments?
Questions for me? Go ahead, Glenn.
I think you're making the right decision. But I also fear that if we stop collecting them, our ditches in our townships are going to get filled up.
For sure.
And that was why we originally started this, so that we did not have that problem. I'm just putting out a caution that we may have trouble down the road because down our ditches.
If I may, thanks, definitely. Unless there's some sort of waiver the province will allow us to have to allow, set some sort of limit extension
If we get cleaned out, then this conversation
is moot. Yeah.
is mute.
Yeah.
If we don't get cleaned out, then I think you're heading in the right direction because we are at a crisis point.
So what I could reach back to E-Trax in the morning is to say that we'll hold that resolution. And if they completely clean the site out on the end of this week, if it's completely cleaned out, we have time to clean up that area, because that's the other thing, it hasn't moved since October. Get that area cleaned up, then we will resume collecting tires, because I have the same fear that most members of councils, we go back to 350 tires piled between Armour and Kearney.
Yeah.
That's why we started.
That's why we started this, so. Let's give it a week, what you need. Before we make any rash decisions. That's all I have to say.
So that was meant to come to our council tomorrow night, right?
There will be a resolution on the table.
We can table.
Are you comfortable with that decision? Because you're concerned with fines, right? We're gonna be
Well-
fined alternatively.
I don't see them coming back on collectors, which is what we are.
Okay.
The haulers are already in that position. They're already getting fined, and they have no way of moving these. They can move the tires to their yard, but there's nowhere for them to go from there. So with the same thing again, they'll clean us out Friday, fingers crossed. Because they told me a month ago that I was gonna get cleaned out by the end of the week. So that's the other issue.
Is there any movement at the provincial level yet, Amy? Because I think there's two giant sites right in the province that are problematic, but did they realize that this is a huge issue and they're trying to work through it for the whole
There are a
province?
lot of people pushing. And so, yes, maybe a support resolution, but I don't see it being any kind of. It won't make a difference what's going on in the province.
Road trip to Michigan.
Lady tires. Okay. Any other questions for Amy on the tires or any other items? Landfill.
So we haven't, I don't think we've seen a resolution of that kind come across any of our tables. It's worth sending out some kind of a resolution to address this issue, or
So I reached this
It's
through
wasted
police
energy.
association, and there is no movement at our municipal level. Is movement, so a couple of policy groups are starting to push the province, bring those targets back in. Because the other part of this is residents need to be aware, you're paying a fee for nothing to happen.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I think the push, like this phone call from E-Trax, that's where the push is. We're not taking tires till you figure out your problem. It's my approach to it, because they were pretty quick to call me after I sent them an email on Friday to say, we are discussing halting tires. The other thing about the regulation is it's not just our residents that can drop off tires at our collection site. So if other municipalities pull out, we will have to accept their tires on our site.
Would it be, to Sean's point, would it be helpful, maybe at tomorrow's Armour Council meeting, to reword a resolution just around the fact that the province should be stepping in and doing something about this, circulating that to Burks Falls and Ryerson? Like, is it gonna help you at all, or are you?
I don't see it that way, but
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt. I think Frieden needs to be brought up to speed and
Yeah,
a little button.
I don't want to assume that they know what's going on.
Yeah,
It's my ignorance, but why are other municipalities allowed to bring tires if they're not allowed to bring any other garbage?
it's not all municipalities are licensed to collect tires. Tires are a different animal.
So as soon as we're licensed, we're on. Okay, thank you.
So we'll take that away for tomorrow's meeting and we'll circulate it to you. Good idea. Any other questions for Amy? Appreciate it. Thank you, Amy. Next up, we have exciting news from Joe on the status of our fire hall construction project. So Joe, over to you.
so
So I sent out a report there and I put the pictures in the report this time instead of trying to play it here. Sorry. Any questions about it? I do appreciate the members of council that have come out and toured it. If anyone else does want to, please make sure you get involved. It's something for sure. Fridays are most available, but maybe.
It's looking good.
Come out this Friday. I haven't had a chance.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It looks great.
Sure, yes, it's coming right along.
Yeah.
We're, I hate to say it, 'cause I'm afraid of it backfire, but we're ahead of schedule right now. Everything good for an early finish. So.
Good stuff. Place it's awesome.
I really love the red trim. It really just adds to the fire hall.
That was kind of the whole, is to make it look a little bit like a fire hall, so that's fantastic. You're gonna see a lot on the exterior start changing this week, the parking lot and the septics are gonna start going in, so. You see a lot of fill coming in, a lot of machinery moving around. We're getting closer and closer. That's pretty.
We had some interesting guesses as to what that building was, Joe, just. Pat Hayes has got the biggest garage apparently.
That's sweet. That a town meeting.
Any questions for Joe? Okay, none noted. Moving right along, we have Canada Day fireworks and looking for volunteers for the annual event.
A volunteer. You mean to collect money at the gate?
Yeah, so we have 3 gates to stand at, and last year we were there between 7:30 and 8, which is a little early, but around.
No, because nights are gonna start at about 8,
Okay. But, because there's news.
hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, so just looking for some volunteers. I have the aprons. I was gonna give Nancy to give everyone that money.
I've already volunteered. So, yeah.
Nancy, Dorothy, anybody else?
Not sure.
Where are the 3 entrances?
So in the mail, by the Burks Fair. Okay. And then by the arena, and then the one below. By the.
Like, so both arena and kind of like just, okay. Last year we ended up not doing the one on Dimsdale, didn't we?
No, we didn't do it because I remember
Yes,
we
yeah.
met down there and then I drove you up the street because we decided that we were just gonna do it
Yes,
at
yeah.
the 2 entrances.
But we are for sure doing Dimsdale this time.
I think I ended up guarding the
Oh,
still gate
Joe.
when he was coming in.
Wait,
Um,
close.
And inside the blast radius came down.
That's right.
So only 2 entrances then. Great.
Two things.
So will that be blocked off?
We can look after blocking it off.
Okay.
Our truck crossing and caution tape.
And then I won't need a ride up from Dimsdale.
There you go. No problem.
Any questions on fireworks? We're all set. Thanks, Camille.
And you guys are all trained to do them this year, right?
Right up.
Last year, but
Yep, it's ready to go.
Excellent.
investment in our fire.
So, it's worth commenting that there may be plans ahead of time, just to be prepared. Or is it too early for that?
Next one.
We're okay. So I don't know if anyone recalls 2 years ago when I brought the games to the center of the field and kids were able to play and families got together and threw frisbees and played games. And so we're hoping to kind of just take what we have from the Canada Day and bring it down to the center field and have fan entertainment and some activities going to bring people together. And we're hoping, I haven't heard back, but we're hoping that the Agricultural Society will open up their stand to be able to sell some food and hot dogs or whatever so that they can.
I don't think they committed to it last week.
So we're hoping that they participate and bring in some revenue for themselves. And other than that, it should be.
Hopefully it won't rain too much because that center gets awful soggy.
Yeah, it's puddle. It looks like good weather.
So, yeah.
Will you ask the contractor to clean up the track prior to that? They certainly can't use the north end.
Give them a rake or a grade. Is that what you're talking about?
They'll need truckloads. Truck and 4-wheel drive would get stuck there.
Where the water's running, like
Or it runs
natural-
down the hill.
Where they track down from the racetrack and then they turn, the ruts are that deep.
Okay, I'll ask Derek about it.
Sounds like we need a township grader.
That's the agricultural property, isn't it? on that?
It is. We'll check with Derek first and then.
Is it right there at the entrance?
Yeah.
It's agriculture property?
Well, at least.
From Dinsdale almost to the arena. Agricultural side.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Session. Okay,
No, that's not.
next up on the agenda is the October meeting rescheduling. So in looking ahead to the regularly scheduled meetings, it turned out to be October 26th. A few of us might be busy that night. Yeah, or it could make for an interesting meeting, I suppose. So we will have to reschedule. I think there were recommendations around moving to October 5th, so earlier in the month, and then a recommendation was a Burks Falls. So the only challenge we would have with November is that in our current agreements, we have to have a meeting in October. So that the goal is that the meeting in October is to discuss potential budget for the next year, but not pass any budgets, so that February can pass. So just by virtue, I believe, of our current agreements, I don't think we can change from an October date. So we'll have to find somewhere before the election to have it. And then the changeover doesn't occur until the middle of November as far as councils anyway.
So in question to that, how will new council have an opportunity to
That's
set
our,
a budget?
that's our only concern.
So we definitely would not pass the budget. So it'll be questions for staff, clarifications on the budget. And then when the new council's in February, they would actually approve the budget for the year. You wouldn't approve any.
I'm just curious if that's their first look at the budget. That's a bit of a.
That's what we did.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
The same
recall
as
that.
we were.
Well, it was till February that we saw the.
Mhm.
So it's
When
on.
it's
on
expected to be passed.
Presumably they could get it on November 15th or whatever the changeover date is. They could get a copy of it, but they're a few deers in the headlights for the first few weeks especially for new council members. But the budget won't get passed till February anyway. Right.
February, March.
February, March, best.
Mine. We'll have a meeting before everybody will, your office staff will make sure that it's right. I know ours will.
And if there's an extra meeting, there's no problem with calling an extra meeting at council side too, right?
No.
Okay. So everybody okay with the October 5th date? Yes. So I do have a resolution for that. Whereas the regular scheduled tri-council meeting falls on Monday, October 26, 2026, which is all municipal election voting day. Whereas tri-council wishes to reschedule the meeting to avoid conflict with the municipal election process. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the regular tri-council meeting scheduled for the last Monday in October 2026 will be rescheduled to October 5th, 2026.
And is that Ryerson's?
And that's Burks Falls, I think.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, I thought it was Ryerson.
We've already passed the resolution for October 5th.
Have you?
Oh, for
Yeah,
the.
but are you hosting it? I think Ryerson hosted in.
Ryerson hosted the last meeting that we just approved the minutes for.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I get a mover for the October 5th date? Chris?
I'll second it, Rob.
That's good. All those in favor? And that is great. I hate to say it, but we may have just broken a record for a tri. I think we have. Is there anything else you want to discuss? World Cup? Appreciate everyone accommodating the change of dates and keeping the meeting short. Tri-Council of Township of Armour, Township of Ryerson, and Village of Burks Falls adjourn this regular Tri-Council meeting at 7:25 p.m. until the next regular Tri-Council meeting scheduled for October 5th, 2026, to be hosted by the Village of Burks Falls. All those in favor of leaving?
Actually, when Heidi asked about.
Yeah.
Plan.
They were, somebody had reached out.
Okay. My first.
He does.
Like a.
Yeah.
Fine.